Welcome to Marketplace Finds, where we show off some crazy and interesting cars for sale, judge what we think of the price, then order it in our tier list. This 1993 Subaru Outback has been treated like a Hot Wheels that survived a house fire. As right-hand drive, the roof has been amputated and it's still daily driven. The back seats were deleted for a bed, and it won't be long until rust invades and adds another mismatched colour. It was listed up for $800 and has already been sold to the next scholar, but they probably didn't see this before buying. There's been plenty of quirky Japanese K cars, microvans, and tiny utes over the years, but I genuinely had no idea this thing even existed. This is the Suzuki Mighty Boy, and let's be real, there's not so much about it that's actually mighty. The proportions are absolutely unhinged in the best way possible. A short, upright cab, tiny pickup bed, and wheels pushed right to the corners, like it's permanently bracing for a strong gust of wind. Like, what are you even fitting in that bed except for something like a small dog? They're just over 10 feet long, about as tall as your grandma, and only weigh about 1,100 pounds, which is why the tiny 540cc 3-cylinder engine can actually pull the thing. The asking price is $9,200, and I really don't know how much these go for, but that seems what you'd expect for a silly and rare JDM import. The 80s were a magical time when someone could design this, stand back, nod once, and everyone agreed it was ready for production. It's a 1987 Raidtrack, and it looks like something driven by a guy who hasn't spoken to another human since 1996. It's powered by a tiny Citroen 602cc 2-cylinder engine with a manual gearbox, and the tracks are wide enough to casually ignore terrain. It doesn't go fast, it doesn't go quietly, but it will go wherever it feels like, including places your modern four-wheel drive would simply give up and cry. Inside, there's one center seat like you're commanding a lunar rover, a few switches, a disturbing amount of fiberglass, and some side seats that look suspiciously similar to those benches cities install so no one can sleep on them. They are after $11,000, and I'll be honest, that seems steep for a snowcat, but the fact this thing survived this long might already justify the price. This might genuinely be one of the coolest vehicles we've ever come across, and after wading through a swamp of awful Mystery Machine clones, Scooby-Doo raps done with a roller, and vans that should have been put down humanely, this absolutely redeems the genre. Meet the monster mullet, business up front, absolute chaos everywhere else, and somehow executed with real skill instead of blind confidence. Starting life as a 1969 Chevrolet G20, this thing has been transformed into a full-blown mega truck that looks like it escaped a cartoon but was built by someone who actually knows what gusseting is. It sits on massive 64-inch tires, military axles, a proper drop box, and a meticulously built tube chassis that looks strong enough to survive a small meteor strike. And then there's the party trick. The entire body lifts like a dump truck, not a gimmick either. It's fully drivable while raised, which is equal parts impressive and mildly terrifying. At full height, it's nearly 16 feet tall, and when lifting it up, reveals the engine, which again, the builder didn't miss, giving it a 600 horsepower LS with a bunch of upgrades to actually help turn those giant wheels and axles. Unfortunately, Daphne doesn't come with a sale either, but it does have 8 seats on the interior for the rest of the gang. They're asking for $185,000, which, let's be real, is insane, but I can't imagine there's many properly built monster trucks going for cheaper than that. What started life as a humble 1990 Civic DX has been surgically converted into a pickup, and although a bit scuffed, I kind of rate it. The outside is a bit chaotic with sun-baked blue paint that's peeled itself into a natural patina wrap. Then there's mismatched panels doing their own thing, and wheels that don't look near scuffed enough. The roof chop, unlike the Subaru we saw earlier, looks halfway decent where it actually flows with the rest of the car. Sure, it'll probably rust as well, but at least the rest of the paint matches that. It's been listed up for $2,800, which seems somewhat reasonable for a B-Series Civic, even if it's a bit weird. 80% of you are subscribed, so if you enjoy our videos, make sure to help us out. From the outside, this thing looks like a deer stand that fell over and then grew wheels, which honestly makes sense once you realize it's a bit of a Frankenstein build. The exterior is completely homemade, in case you couldn't already tell, and to be fair, I definitely drew this exact vehicle when I was 5, so it's good enough for me. Underneath all that chaos though, the chassis is actually solid. It's built on a Suzuki Samurai frame, which, if you didn't know, has a bit of a cult following for being stupidly good off-road. That helps, because this thing's rocking a welded rear diff, front locking hubs, and a winch, meaning it's far more capable than it has any right to be. Power comes from what's apparently a 1970s Datsun 4-cylinder, which is exactly the kind of engine choice you'd expect here. Simple, old, and probably refuses to die out of pure spite. Inside you get bare metal, ripped seats, mystery switches, and just enough wiring to make you trust none of it. It does blow heat though, which is hilarious considering everything else looks like it was designed to live permanently outside. For the $3,000 asking price, bring a trailer and leave your good judgment equipment at home. This is a 1955 Ford F100 that someone in the early 90s decided wasn't nearly ridiculous enough, so they gave it a double cab and built a fully functioning hot tub into the bed. Not a prop and not a joke, an actual working hot tub, permanently installed, and I really can't tell if I think that's awesome or the most insane mod we've come across. Up front it still looks like a proper classic F100, but then you realize the cab just keeps going, with an additional 2 doors and a bus length of bed that houses the hot tub. It's even got another axle back there, just to help cope with the weight, but I still think this could fold in the middle at any moment. And surprisingly, yes, the tub actually functions, even if the seller didn't put any pictures of it in their listing. They want $25,000, and I'll be honest, I can't tell if that's a great price or ridiculous for potentially ruining what used to be a nice truck. Here we have a 2005 Scion XB that has officially abandoned the idea of being a car and fully committed to becoming a rolling earthquake generator. From the outside, it's pretty much your standard Scion XB, boxy and white, but nothing here prepares you for what's about to happen. Open the doors and the rear half of the car has been completely sacrificed to the audio gods. The back seats are long gone, replaced by what can only be called a shrine filled with 3 giant 18-inch subwoofers, and of course, to run those in the speakers and the door cards, you've got a wall of amps and wiring so thick it looks like it was borrowed from an industrial generator. They're asking $18,000, and I can only assume that's because the bass has liquefied their brains so much that it's probably leaking out their ears. This started life as a 2004 F350, then somewhere along the way it got a 2015 body, lost 2 doors, gained an ego, and ended up looking like a rolling jewelry store that only sells chrome. On the outside, it's sitting on 26-inch American Force semis, wrapped in rubber bands so thin they qualify as emotional support tires. These wheels have never seen dirt, gravel, or anything more rugged than a dealership forecourt. It is a dually, but I'm not sure I'd be trusting those rims to tow on. That would be like wearing a suit when working on an oil rig. Under the hood, it looks like someone spilled a box of Twizzlers, but she does run and drive, albeit with a bit of an oil leak. Inside it looks clean and comfortable, and even comes with some seat massagers in the form of 4 8-inch subwoofers behind the seats. Honestly, I don't even hate this, but the price has me thinking otherwise, because they're after a huge $31,000. For that much money, you could buy a proper workhorse, but instead, this gets you a dually dressed like it's on its way to prom. This is a 2000 Volkswagen Beetle, and calling it custom feels generous, like calling instant noodles a chef's special. You can tell this thing has lived a hard life, because every panel looks like it's been abused. Starting with the exterior is rocking a full custom wide body that sticks out like it's trying to escape the car. The paint, wrap, or crime scene is a mix of faded silver, random splatter, and what looks suspiciously like dried regret. Then you've got the engine bay, and I mean you can already tell just by the photos this thing needs to be towed, because in typical Volkswagen fashion, it blew the head gasket, got rebuilt, and then started knocking. The inside's just as bad as the outside, as you can see. There's skull pattern door cards, missing trim, exposed wiring, and a plastic tub full of spray cans just riding shotgun, like that's a normal thing. The steering wheel looks like it was dipped in mint ice cream and then abandoned in the sun. And then there's the price, which is $2,000, and honestly that feels like the seller has accepted reality. You probably can't tell, but this absolute monstrosity was once a C4 Corvette. Not only has the car been put on a severe weight loss program where the owner removed majority of the body panels, they have gone completely mental with absolutely unhinged add-ons. There's weird headlights, a front splitter that looks sharp enough to peel asphalt, and yes, 3 decorative miniguns bolted on. As much as I'd love to keep ripping into it, they only gave us 4 pictures. They are after $3,000, and unsurprisingly, it still hasn't sold for almost half a year. Listen, I like Spider-Man like most other people, but definitely not as much as this guy. It's a 1968 Volkswagen Baja bug that, as you can see, has been absolutely drenched in red and blue and covered in hand-laid webbing. It's not my taste, but the paint is clean, the theme is consistent, and it looks like someone cared instead of just slapping decals on and calling it a day. The seller does say, however, that the interior apparently does need some updating, but they have at least upgraded the engine at some point, so that's a bonus. The seller is even going to throw in this custom Spider-Man and Venom cornhole set if you pay the asking price of $25,000, but if Tobey Maguire isn't in the back seat of this thing, I don't think it's going to sell at that price. Alright, we've seen a ton of absolutely cursed Pontiac Fiero Lambo kits over the last year, so I think it's only fair to show one off that actually looks halfway decent. This Murcielago replica is one of the rare ones that doesn't immediately out itself from half a block away. The proportions are right, the paint is loud in a correct Lamborghini way, and unless you really know your stuff, this one actually makes you do a double take. Sure, purists will still clock it, and yes, it's still a replica, but compared to the usual Fiero-based crimes against humanity, this thing is basically Oscar-worthy method acting. Even the interior isn't too bad. What is bad though is the price, because they're wanting $39,000, and I just know someone wanting to flex a fake Lambo will pay that much. We've covered a lot of unhinged machines here, K-trucks, pirate ships, school buses that think they're nightclubs, but somehow nobody mentioned that you could legally buy a fire-breathing dragon and register it with the DMV. This is Dragons of Eden, a street-legal, 7-headed, flame-throwing mythological creature built on a a 1988 Fleetwood RV chassis. On the outside it looks like a Boeing fuselage got possessed by a medieval prophecy, and yes, there's 7 dragon heads up front, all capable of breathing actual fire just in case the partygoers' brains aren't already melted from too much LSD. The inside is basically just a spaceship hallway, but it does have a 3000 watt onboard generator because dragons hate power outages, plus a deep freezer for food, ice, or whatever questionable decisions get made at 3 AM in the desert. Now get ready for the price, because the seller is after an absolutely insane $70,000, and sure, it's road legal, but would take the jet coming up in this video over it any day of the week. Redneck Engineering has done it again. What you're looking at is a literal boat hull perched on a chassis that's been lifted to heaven and aptly named the Mud Duck. Underneath it are 63-inch tyres wrapped around 5-ton military axles, and turning those is a good old 454 of course. Inside there's 4 seats, so your passengers can experience the chaos together, like a theme park ride that HR would never approve. They're asking $12,500 to own one of the most unhinged, glorious pieces of backyard engineering ever assembled. This is a Honda Prelude that wants to be a Nissan Skyline, the same way I want to be Brad Pitt, but at least I understand that even with the best surgeons, it's just simply not possible. Up front, it's rocking R34 Skyline headlights, and honestly, if the hood was shut and you squinted just right, it almost looks factory, but then you walk around the back and the illusion falls apart immediately. The tail lights, bumper, and body kit are all different shades of silver, which really helps remind you this is a costume, not a transformation. Under the hood, there was a motor, but it now features a ventilation hole straight through the block, which the seller calls a mechanic special. And yes, the interior is surprisingly clean, and it's got an intake and exhaust, but none of that really matters when the motor decided it wanted fresh air permanently. They're asking $1,800, and considering those headlights are probably worth more than that, I'd be tempted to sell those and chuck a new engine in it for that price. What you're looking at here is a full-size Learjet fuselage that has been ripped from the sky and placed onto a bus chassis. It's not a prop, and it's not a parade float. It's somehow street legal, and definitely one of the most insane builds we've ever seen pop up. I mean, it's literally a jet plane on wheels. Sure, it's missing the wings and looks a bit goofy, but how else are you ever going to tell women that you own a jet without lying? And sure, there's no jet engine either, but you get the next best thing, a good old Cummins with the intercooler ready to collect bugs like the government collects taxes. Unfortunately, if it wasn't obvious, it is unfinished, but mostly done, which probably explains why we don't get any interior shots. It does, however, apparently sit 9, including the pilot. The seller's asking for $80,000, and I'll be honest, the fact that it's mostly done and somehow road legal, I could definitely see it selling for that much. Here's how the final tier list ended up. Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, if there's anything that changed around. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you find your own crazy car, you can send it to us using the Google Forms link. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.